Sonic the Hedgehog the movie, and I am wearing a Nintendo shirt of all things to review this, but I don't own a Sonic shirt, and I think I will have to fix that. Anyway, this movie was delayed by about 3 months so that they could go back and fix the CGI because the first trailer where Sonic looked more human-like was absolutely horrible, and they had to make him look more like the original character that we all know and love, and this is what we associate with Sonic. I am so happy that they did that. When I saw the original trailer where he looked like crap, I did not want to see the movie at all. I was like, this is going to be a horrible video game movie. And then they changed. They listened to the fans, which is something they hardly ever do. And they made him look like the real Sonic. And then I saw the trailer, and it's essentially the same movie. They just changed the CGI and made him look like he should. And I wanted to see the movie. Potentially more so because that they actually listened. I felt like compelled that I had to go see this movie. But I felt that when I was watching the movie and I was thinking back of what he looked like, I could not have watched it and enjoyed it as much as I did with him looking that bad. When they fixed him, I was able to enjoy it. That is Sonic. And when Sonic is on screen in this movie, I actually enjoyed the movie. He's one of the best parts. He's kind of like, I don't want to say he's Baby Yoda because Baby Yoda is like on a whole other level. But when I watched The Mandalorian was an okay show that was elevated to crazy heights because of Baby Yoda, for me anyway. I still liked the main character, the Mandalorian, but Baby Yoda is where it's at. And this movie has so much more Sonic than Baby Yoda is in the Mandalorian. And he's so good. Anytime that he's doing action scenes, when he's running around, his banter, his jokes for the most part, I think, worked well. And his the way that he interacts with James Marsden worked for me. Normally, I don't like it when humans are added in these kinds of movies. I would just prefer it to be Sonic in his own world with, Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, Sally, all those characters. But this actually kind of worked. Now, there's so much more that they could go into, and anytime that they showed a little bit of lore, especially at the beginning when you see a younger Sonic, I was like, I got so excited for what we could have had. But this still worked, and I think it worked so well as an introduction to Sonic the Hedgehog. Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey, is classic 90s Jim Carrey, where he's over the top and just having fun. And if you're not a fan of Jim Carrey, you probably won't like this. I am a huge Jim Carrey fan. When I was 8 years old, I could recite every line from The Master because I absolutely loved that film and Jim Carrey so much. So I do have definitely a bias. Same thing for Sonic. I think that that's another reason why I liked this movie, is because that I played the video games. I read the comic books. I think I liked the comic books more than the video games and the TV show that I had seen, which was the first or second TV show. Actually, I think I might have seen both, the first and second. Anyway, so for me, seeing Sonic was just a blast. And I also felt that for the most part, this movie is very well directed for a kid's movie which has action in it. Action is fluid. You're always able to see kind of what's going on, even though Sonic is speeding through because they'll slow things down so you can actually see what he's doing. And James Marsden did an okay job. When he's with Sonic, he's awesome. When he's with other people, it's not so great. I find that a lot of the secondary characters are just complete wastes. Other than maybe James Marsden's wife's sister was hilarious. I loved her character. Now, she's very much meant for a kid's movie, but I actually laughed at almost every scene that she was in because she's so over the top and just screaming all the time, and I really enjoyed that. It worked for me. So I am going to give this movie a 6 out of 10. Now, if you nitpick the movie to hell, I would probably say it's more on the side of 5, especially if you don't like Jim Carrey or you don't really care about Sonic. I don't think you'll enjoy it nearly as much, but because I do love Sonic, I do love Jim Carrey, and I really want this movie to succeed so we can get a sequel, especially with what they hinted at near the end of the movie. This was... The post-credit scene was like an MCU post-credit scene on the high end. For me, I was freaking out, and I did not expect to get that from a movie with Sonic the Hedgehog. But I really want a sequel. I really want this movie to succeed, to show that if you listen to the fans, it's a good thing. It's usually a good thing. 6 out of 10. I still strongly recommend seeing it if you're into Sonic and you want changes like this to happen. Thank you all for watching. You have been bearded in.
Beardage!